NASCAR heads to Bristol for a weekend full of night racing, and we get you in on the action tonight with our best bets for the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and our DFS rankings. All this and more coming up on the Backroad.
It's a non-points race, but it is a short race. Checkered flag. Those are all this race.
Two from the States.
All right, and welcome down the back road in between media's NASCAR betting and DFS program. My name is Seth Woolcock, and today I am joined by a man who hosts the most popular NASCAR gambling show in the land, father, brother, race handicapper, and most importantly, American hero, Hot Rod Villagomez. Rod, how are you doing as we head to Bristol?
I was looking behind my shoulder to see if there was somebody else behind me. I didn't know that I was all those things. No, listen, I'm fantastic. Thank you, Seth, for the very warm welcome as always. This is great. Bristol, it's night racing right now. The trucks are even on the track.
Yes.
So if you listen to this later, obviously it'll be done. But yeah, they got the racing going early at Bristol. So excited to watch that once we jump off of here and see how the truckers do. I know Connor Zilich is on the pole, and I mean, we kind of dogged him a little bit on our truck show, but that 7 truck's got a little more speed in it than I think we thought it was going to this weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's how it goes, man. Gotta love racing. Gotta love Bristol. And it's going to be an awesome weekend. We're going to talk about Cup. We're going to talk about Xfinity. As you see, Budweiser on the jacket tonight. Dale Jr.'s back in the car. Excited to see him rip around that Hellman Mayo's Chevrolet here this weekend. Tonight on the program, we will react to the Glen and some of the latest NASCAR news. Also preview Bristol, break everything down that you need to know with our best bets, with our DFS tiers and rankings. I want to shout out everyone who's also watching tonight live or pre-recorded if you're catching us afterwards as well. I know the truck race is going on tonight. Kind of had to go through that, push through either way. But we appreciate everyone hanging out with us. We had Marcus. He was in here locked and loaded early, 7:14, saying first hello. What's up, man? Good to see you. And not only does he have his usual Christopher Bell prediction in the chat, but also saying JGR, always good at Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm with you there. Kush hanging out with us early in the chat as well, saying Josh Berry, a little Berry love. And then also Stan saying there's a driver lurking in the shadows who no one has mentioned much lately. He will emerge victorious on Saturday night. I want to know who you're talking about, Stan. I'm curious. Hopefully it's one of the guys we are already on. Also, we got Charles hanging out with us as well, dropping a bunch of his bets already. Good to see you, man. Saying we can't ever count out KFB at Bristol. Yeah, he's on the thumbnail. We'll talk more about Rowdy later on in the show as well. Great to have everyone in with us tonight. We greatly appreciate it. And Rod, before we do get into all the fun at Bristol, unfortunately, we have to look back at what was an absolute slaughtering of our betting cards last week at Watkins Glen. All right. I love the Glen. I was hyped up for it. It's in my backyard. It did not do me well last weekend, though. Shout out to Connor Zilich, though, who got the win on Saturday. His first ever Xfinity start. Goes out there, dominates this race from start to finish, pulls it, leads 45 laps of it, gets back to the front when it matters. So shout out to Connor Zilich. 7-1 ticket. I had none of that. I thought it was kind of a shorter price for a guy we had never seen in there. But this guy's different, Rod. That's what I think we're learning here. You know, kind of a weird race. It was a loaded race front to back with everyone who was in that. Byron, SVG had issues, but at the end of the day, Connor Zilich, there's no handicapping greatness here.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to pay attention to him. But I mean, this was a road course. This is supposed to be where he is the best at it. We'll know tonight whether or not there's something special about him, because if he comes out and, I mean, he put it on the pole, he put the 7 truck on the pole. If he comes out, dominates the race, obviously Seth and I are recording this, so you're not watching it live. So if you're in the chat and you know what's going on in the truck race, silence, no spoilers. Yes. But no, listen, we'll see. And good on him for coming out and beating, like you said, a very stacked field of guys that he should not have probably been able to just come out and beat. Now, do I agree that cautions should be full course cautions when they don't need to be? There's a couple times in there, Seth, where I think we got screwed a little bit. But you can't take the win away from Connor. He came out, he dominated the way he was supposed to. So, that's good on him. We'll see if this is something else. That 88 car is going to be fast, and we'll see if he can continue to be fast when he's a full-time driver.
Absolutely agreed. We'll talk more Xfinity here in a little bit. But want to go to the Cup Series race where, man, oh man, I guess we should have saw it coming. Elliot and I said the only Ford we thought that could realistically win this race was Chris Buescher. Neither of us bet him. I went all in on Chevy here. I was all in heavy on Hendrick. I was all in on that total manufacturer there of Chevrolet, and Buescher ends up with this win. I thought it was a really smartly driven race from him, start to finish. SVG kind of took over here late in the race. We thought, oh, here we go, another SVG win coming. And last lap, one of the final corners there, coming out of the bus stop, SVG slips. We haven't seen him. This is a guy who it seems like for all account and purposes, Rod, almost perfect. You know what I mean? Like we've never seen a slip up like that from SVG. He slips up on the last lap, and Chris Buescher gets by for the win. What'd you think of it?
Well, first and foremost, if I didn't have my board sitting right here, I'd tip one out to the entirety of that. I mean, like you, I was essentially high on Hendrick, and high a little bit on some of the Toyotas that have performed well on this one as well. Yeah. But no, I mean, look, SVG was the only one I had all to finish in the top 5 between Larson, Byron, and SVG. Mm-hmm. And SVG is the only one that did it. I got to tell you, when he slipped up, first of all, I wanted to throw stuff out. This is another one where, when does a single car spin become a full course caution? I thought road courses were only supposed to have local cautions, my friends,
right?
Not full course cautions. We could have probably seen SVG catch up and pass. And instead of having to get back on another restart and do it all over again, like I feel like we got cheated out of an SVG win because of that. Because on the restart, he was pushing hard, and that's what made him ended up slipping, because I don't think he's used to pushing hard, but he's not used to defending the lead like that in against a car that's coming in fast on better tires. So it was frustrating. I had SVG outright as well, and we're a slip away from it.
Yeah, I mean, and I do want to give Chris Buescher his flowers, man. He's been so consistent at road courses his entire career, especially here in the next gen era. So I think it makes sense that he finally got it done, almost got it done at Sonoma earlier this season. And man, I was high on Zane Smith. That was one of my sneaky plays last week. I bet him over Carson Hocevar. What does Zane Smith do? Finish 5th. Hocevar finishes 3rd. So probably should have had some top 10 action there on Zane. But shout out Carson Hocevar as well. Looked really good in this. Started way back. Kind of broke the DFS slate if you're playing him at all. Ends up finishing 3rd on the day. Ross Chastain. Where did the speed come from? Like, right now, I will say this, and like, first of all, hands up for me. Like, if you tailed me last week, I do apologize. I know some of our faithful listeners did tail, and I apologize that I led you down the wrong road. But right now in the Cup Series, Rod, it just seems like we're seeing speed come out of nowhere, because Ross has been better as of the last month, but to have him go out, pull this son of a bitch, lead 51 laps, I was very mind blown to see that, especially because like Glen is in a place that Ross usually comes out, and drives with the best of them. So I think it's just something we got to keep in mind, is like, there are these guys who are just kind of showing up now the second half of the season. It's not like the earlier season where Denny was getting hot and Larson and Byron were getting hot. It seems like every week we're getting a new winner right now.
But that's what makes this great. And Chris Buescher said it too in the post race interview. He's like, look, I came out to play spoiler. And I got to think that that's exactly what every non-playoff driver, or even every playoff driver that's on the bubble, or does not have a secure spot, which is essentially everybody at this point, is going to just continue to come out and say, listen, this season's not over. Whether or not I'm in the playoffs or I'm not, I'm gunning for wins. And obviously we know for playoff drivers, wins will get you in. But, Ross Chastain, you got nothing to lose. Chris Buescher, got nothing to lose. Like, these guys just have nothing to lose, and they're driving like it, and it's fun. It makes the sport a lot more fun.
Yeah, I agree with you. Charles saying in the chat, keep leading us down the back road, Seth. We win and we lose some as long as the outcome is income. Absolutely, man. I appreciate that that vote of confidence there from our guy Chuck. Anything else on Watkins Glen for you? Because other than that, I want to get there because everyone seems like they're partying their faces off and it seems like a great time. I'm ready to close the chapter on that. I lost 14 units, my biggest loss ever on a NASCAR slate. 0 for 8 in my bet. So I'm ready to turn the page if you are, my friend.
Well, I'm just very happy that I did get a couple stage one winning cars. I said both that would be odd, and they both were odd at plus money. So that was good. And then over 6.5 drivers to lead a lap. I got that one in there as well. So
Very
some of
nice.
these obscure bets, like I said, sometimes it doesn't always have to be one driver that gets you home. Sometimes it's just a
Yeah.
matter of, picking these fun bets and leaning on them.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Rod. Let's talk about some news that we recently missed in between our last show. And it has to do with the 2025 Xfinity Series kind of starting to take shape here a little bit. We're going to throw up this chart. This is courtesy of our friends over there, TobyChristie.com. And this is just kind of getting us refreshed in the Xfinity landscape for 2025 here. The big news over the weekend, Nick Sanchez, he's going to be joining Big Machine Racing. We know he's done a couple one-off races with them in the past, so not a huge surprise. We also know that Parker Klickerman's stepping down from that ride, so great to see Sanchez getting that number 48 ride full-time next season. And also, we haven't talked about it, but Colleague has also added to their stable in the Xfinity Series. Christian Eckes will take over that 16 car. And then Daniel Dye also coming in the number 10 car. So based on that recent news, Rod, anything stick out to you? The Sanchez has kind of been right behind that big three of Eckes, of Heim, of Majeski in the Truck Series. So I'm excited to see what he can do as well as Eckes and Dye, who's slowly improved in the Truck Series this season.
Well, I had Sanchez actually as an outright to win tonight, so we'll see how that. I think he's rolling off 6. I'm definitely high on him. Love to see what he can do in the Xfinity ride for sure as a full-time driver. But I'm not kind of excited by what Colleague did. I mean, Daniel Dye, we know, look, he's a hell of a camera operator in that truck, so we're going to get some good shots in the Xfinity Series finally.
Yeah.
But he's actually been a sneaky good driver lately, so putting him behind the wheel of that 10, we know the 10 cars won a championship, so we know that it's got some good caliber behind it. But I'm excited to see there. And then Christian Eckes, we know that dude can drive just about anything with wheels. So you put him in the 16. I mean, that's going to be dangerous too with AJ leaving to go back to Cup full time. That's going to be a fun stable to watch coming up this season.
Absolutely. So, some other news that we have touched on in the past, Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer, of course, joining that Haas factory team, ripping those Ford Mustangs out for them. Jesse Love and Austin Hill will be back for RCR as well. Excited to see what they can do over there. Sammy Smith, of course, will be back. And Connor Zilich, we talked about him earlier in the program. He's going to be in that number 88 full-time next season as well. So Rod, in general, we don't have the full picture yet. We know Brandon Jones also, of course, his deep pockets got him back over with Joe Gibbs Racing. Aside from that, like if I had to say, like pick a favorite here, like when you expect to see these NASCAR Xfinity Series championship odds next season, who do you think's the favorite?
Would it be crazy if I still said Sheldon Creed? I mean, the dude's the king of second place. Like,
Yeah.
You got to think out of these guys right here, Sheldon Creed's going to be making the most noise out of all of them, even though he's in the 00. But, for me, looking down this list, that's about the only name that I can maybe possibly see as a favorite. Austin Hill is obviously going to be up there from name recognition alone. We'll see how much love the books give Connor Zilich because they seem to love him every time he steps into a car. So, but I doubt he'll be among the favorites to win the championship right out of the gate. But out of this, I mean, we like to laugh at him quite a bit, but Sheldon Creed, that's the guy on this list that has the best shot right now.
Well, I think it's funny because like you actually don't have to win a race to win a championship. And we even have seen it with guys like Hemrick in the past, where hey, just get to that championship 4, move someone out of the way. Maybe you not only get your first win, you get your championship win there as well. I will absolutely, I think, be smashing Connor Zilich next season for a championship outright. I'll probably be hitting his win total as well because we know when we go to the road courses, if SVG isn't in there, if Dinger isn't in there, I mean, Zilich is going to be the heavy favorite almost every single time. Yeah, Sam Mayer has some speed there. Doesn't seem like he's really able to seal the deal, at least this season. Back in 2023, had a couple road course wins. But really, I think Zilich is going to be a guy to watch. And I'm excited to see what JRM kind of does to round out their stable. We imagine they're going to bring Allgaier back. We can hope. And then also potentially adding Carson Kvapil to that stable as well. So I think JRM right now, Sammy Smith keeps improving. They're probably my favorite overall team build so far. Do you like what they're doing or maybe another team better?
Well, I think everybody that's listened to the NASCAR Gambling Podcast at all knows that I have a bleeding heart for JRM, and I didn't necessarily start out that way, but it just felt like that's where all the numbers were leading me once upon a time, and just I really do respect the hell out of their stable because Justin Allgaier, he's that scrappy old guy amongst a bunch of kids that's just leading them out there. And now you bring in a guy like Connor Zilich, you keep Sammy Smith, and like you said, if you bring in Kvapil to take Brandon Jones' spot, that is a dangerous team week after week after week.
We still have some seats that haven't been filled yet. We don't know what's happening with the rest of the Joe Gibbs racing cars over there. We're hearing some rumors coming out that maybe there's some type of relationship strain between Corey Heim and that team, which is kind of a bummer. We know him and Ty Gibbs had some runnings back in their ARCA days. So I would hope that wouldn't prevent Corey Heim from taking an upgrade here. Is there anyone else? Is there any other name that we haven't touched on here and that hasn't signed full time yet? They're like, hey, I think they're ready for a big Xfinity seat, because I feel like we kind of have the heavy hitters here. If you want to throw maybe in Ty Majeski, I would maybe be excited to see what he can do, but he might just be one of those guys who hangs around the Truck Series for a long time and kind of just keeps collecting trophies down there.
Well, I mean, you think about it too. It's the way of Matt Crafton. It's the way of Ben Rhodes. I mean, these guys, they're probably not going to move up in a full-time ride if they haven't already. I think Ty Majeski's kind of along those same lines because we keep seeing Corey Heim move up. We see Taylor Gray move up. We don't see Ty Majeski move up. And I think there's a reason for that. He's probably, I don't know if anybody's like content, but I mean, I would be content at that point, I suppose, making as much as they're making, being able to drive the trucks, and so if he's comfortable, if he's happy, if he just wants to stay a truck driver, then that's probably where he's going to stay the rest of his life. Because honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't stay there if you're comfortable and if you don't want to necessarily have aspirations to move up to Sundays or even Saturdays.
Keep an eye on Riley Herbst too. I think Riley Herbst, wherever he lands, he could kind of enter that favorite mix, honestly, because we are seeing a lot of these veteran guys. There'll be no Cole Custer down here. A couple of these other guys moving up to the Cup Series as well. So I think there might be an opening for Herbst if he can land in a good place. But I'm just excited for the Xfinity Series next year. It's going to be on CW the entire year, so more fans can hopefully find it as well. So just kind of a little teaser for y'all. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments below this video as well. Who do you like coming into the 2025 Xfinity Series season? Love that we're seeing guys like Nick Sanchez, like Christian Eckes, Daniel Dye getting an opportunity here. Charles in the chat saying we're not happy about Ty Dillon potentially going back to Cup Series. Yeah, that's a conversation for a different day. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, our friend. But Rod, what do you say, man? Should we jump in and talk a little Bristol here?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, Horizon Forecast coming at you.
Hey, Michael, it was only 20% chance of rain. I think we got all 20.
All right. And we got a question in the chat from our guy Kush saying, Rod, is that a mimosa? A mimosa with bourbon?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that is, but I'm definitely going to start looking into that because that's fantastic. No, listen, in honor of Bass Pro Shops, I am drinking a Motorboatin' IPA from Morgantown Territory. Morgan Territory Brewing out here in California. I mean, although now I really want a mimosa, so let's go with that.
I'm with you there. It's Bristol, baby. Let's talk about it. This is a unique short track. One of my absolute favorite races on the schedule, specifically the night races here, I think are so fun because there's really nothing like Bristol. It is a unique track. There's no primary comp that you can compare it to. You can look at the secondary comp of Dover. That's kind of the best thing we have to go off so far this season, other than the already Bristol race that we've driven that kind of had some crazy high tire wear. I did look at a little bit of Kansas data and Darlington just because of those are kind of the other high tire wear tracks. Did you factor in Kansas or Darlington or any of those other high tire wear tracks, Rod?
Really, if you just, for me, I looked at Bristol and then I looked at how they do on tracks that aren't super speedways and mile and a half. So the unconventional style of tracks, whether it's a mile, whether it's 3/4 of a mile or whatever, I kind of factored in how well do they do in close quarters racing versus the big super speedways and mile and a half. So, but I mean, honestly, I really just, because there are drivers, if you look back, that are great on every other short track that's out there, but suck at Bristol. And likewise, there's guys that are really awesome at Bristol, but you put them on a Richmond, you put them on a Martinsville, and they're they're not good. And so, you pick up on those patterns and kind of ride those to your bets.
I think that's a great point, man. I think when I was early into this, when it would come to Bristol, I would be looking at tracks like Martinsville and Richmond, and they just don't apply. They're just so much different. Specifically here, so something that we need to be considering is we do have this tire this week, and it is what they're calling a similar tire to what we saw in the spring. They did some testing over the summer as well. I know Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher, those were some of the names that we're testing here on this tire over the fall or over the summer. So I am expecting some high tire wear here, Rod, and honestly, maybe a little craziness. Probably not to the extent that we saw in the spring because teams now know what to expect. When we came in here in the spring, I mean, it was an absolute mayhem. No one thought we would see fall off like this. We hadn't seen fall off like this at Bristol or any short track in absolute fucking years. So are you handicapping the tires at all? Because it's kind of hard to. The only thing I will say is I have favored drivers who are a little more experienced on my card, who know how to save tires, and also drivers who just aren't going to go out there like a Ty Gibbs and maybe run the crap off the tread here early in the run.
Well, and you talked about it too. When they ran it in the spring, they had nothing. You got to believe now that they have that entire race worth of data that they've gone back, they've poured over, and whether or not, I don't think we're going to get the same results that we did in the spring because now they know, now they've learned. NASCAR teams are smart. They may not know what they don't know the first time around, whether they've simmed it, whether they've tested it or whatever. When you get out in race conditions, things go to hell quickly, right? And all of your sims and all your projections can just go up in smoke. Well, now they've got a whole data's full or a whole race worth of data that they can go back on and read through this. So I'm not even taking half of what happened in the spring into account insofar as I just know that if they ran well, they ran well. And then whatever the finish was may not have been within their realm of control. Right. So just did they run well in that specific spring race? And if they did they run well in the races before that? Have they run well? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of stuff I'm taking into it. So tire wear, we can't always, I mean, we can say that we can handicap for it, but like we saw in the spring, could bite us in the ass.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bristol is one of those tracks, as you kind of pointed out earlier. My last note here on kind of what went into building my card is like, I'm looking at track history a little bit more than usual. And like, I feel like the last couple of months, I've kind of put aside the history before the next gen, but Bristol is one of those tracks, man. It feels like the drivers who were good at Bristol before the next gen car also still pretty good here now. So we'll talk more about that history here in the trends for the schedule for the weekend. As you guys know, the truck race right now, the Uno G200 presented by Ohio Logistics going on as we speak. So hope everyone's cards are going well for that. I didn't get invested with this race just because it was on a Thursday. Didn't have time to handicap it. On tomorrow's schedule for Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, cup practice and qualifying. We got a 45-minute session for practice, which is going to be great for learning who's going to be fast potentially on Saturday night. And then we got the qualifying after that. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Buckle up, baby. It's the Food City fucking 300. Dale Jr.'s back in the saddle. Xfinity Series race. I'm pumped. I got way more units allocated to that race than I do Saturday's race. I don't know if you're the same, Rod, but I splurged a little.
Well, it's Dale Jr. It's hard not to splurge. And everybody's going to tell you to bet on Dale Jr. Everybody's going to tell. We told you in the NASCAR Gambling Podcast to bet on Dale Jr. Because if this really is and truly is his final race as a NASCAR driver, as an Xfinity Series driver, there's nothing stopping that guy from going for broke. I mean, he was a hair's breadth away from finishing second in this race last year. So, watch out for Dale Jr. I mean, I know it's chalky and I know everybody's going to be on it, but like the books still don't necessarily think it's going to happen. So you're getting good odds on it.
I'm trusting it, man. I'm trusting it. Charles saying he took Allgaier outright 3-1 in Xfinity. Yeah, I might be on that with you. We'll talk on that here a little bit later. And also some shade on a Hard Rock Cafe. So I've not been to a Hard Rock Cafe since I was probably about maybe 12, 13 years old. I was a young buck. I enjoyed it back then. Have you been to Hard Rock Cafe recently? Catch a couple strays here from our guy Chuck.
I feel like this was the last time I went, and that was in 2004. So it might have been 20 years since I've been to a Hard Rock. I don't know. I can't remember if I went to one with my daughter's age. So it's been a long time. So let's just say I don't know, Charles. It could suck. All I know is they gave me a mug, and so I liked them.
Yeah, and I'll say the last time I went there, we stopped at Hard Rock Cafe, and then afterwards we went to the NASCAR theme park down in Myrtle Beach there with all the go-kart tracks. So I was flying high. Vibes were high that day for me as well. So not a great judge of Hard Rock Cafe. Looking at a couple Bristol trends here. Since Bristol was added as the third playoff race, the lowest finisher of the eventual championship winner was Joey Logano in 2022, where he finished 27th. So we're expecting these guys who are contenders for the chip to have good races here. A lot of them are on that cut line too. So a lot of them need good runs here on Saturday night. Denny Hamlin, he has 4 Bristol poles, and Kyle Busch has 2. They're the only active drivers with multiple poles here. And speaking of those two, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch has 8 wins at Bristol in his career. Denny Hamlin has 4. The rest of the field combined, 7 wins. So, and 2 of those are Brad Keselowski as well. So old guys matter here, Rod. Old guys matter this weekend. And Denny was the first driver to win back-to-back Bristol races since Brad Keselowski did it in 2012. So are you kind of leaning on some of this experience here, Rob? Because we know no first-time Cup Series winner has won here since 2002, Kurt Busch.
Yeah, as an old guy, old guys matter. That's for sure. No, look, what sucks, though, is that for Kyle Busch, his name is cemented on just about every single track that's out there right now. This guy literally has records all over the place. Yeah. But he just hasn't been producing. So when you look at the raw numbers and when you go and you look at Kyle Busch, you're like, man, this guy's impressive. He's got all these wins. He's got all these top 10s. He's got all these top 5s. But then you look at what he's done this season, you can't get in on him the way you want to get in on him because.
But he's been hot lately.
He's been hot lately, and that's the sucky part. So I don't know.
Same with Denny Hamlin. He's running like shit right now. We'll talk more on him. Winners come from at Bristol, the front row, 33% of the time, top 5, 58% of the time. That's about standard here. That's nothing crazy. No outliers here. Top 10, 78% of the time. Outside the top 25% of the time. So nothing too crazy here from what we see on a race-to-race basis. Rounding out here our preview of Bristol with our iFantasyRace.com Asterisk Mark Driver of the Week. Justin Haley throwing it down to the Rick Ware Racing driver number of the number 151 car. Haley was a legit top 10 contender in the spring, but late in that race, his tires started to fade, wasn't managing the best. In that race, Haley started 32nd, had an average running position of 14.7, and then he was 9th with just 20 laps to go. But then over the closing laps, he fell all the way back to 17th. So when we're setting our DFS lineups, we got to look at a guy like Justin Haley. That's when I looked and I was like, I kind of forgot that Justin Haley was up there. We saw guys like John Hunter Nemechek who had a good finish. We saw guys like Josh Berry up there leading laps, but Justin Haley, kind of a guy who snuck through the cracks a little bit for me.
I mean, I can sign off on, I put an asterisk by him for sure. I mean, iFantasy Race does not throw those asterisks around willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, too, in that a lot of times when we go to handicap this stuff, we look at the finishes, and yeah, okay, sometimes they're running in the top 10, but you got to also look at, well, okay, they may have run there, but finishing there is the thing we're really looking at. Like, I know, and we got the speed, but like if you see a string of 17th, 20th, 35th, 20th, it's like, yeah, you were running in the top 5, but you didn't finish there. And you could have been running in the top 5 in every single one of those races, but yeah, something happened. And we always like to say it too. If you get kicked in the nuts 5 times in a row by the same person, and that person lines up to swing it again, are you moving? I'm moving because that dude's connected 5 times already, and I don't want to get kicked in the nuts again. So you just got to take it as it comes. And maybe he'll miss this time, but chances are and odds are he won't. So you gotta go.
Stan with a DGen parlay over on FanDuel. I'd be curious to know if this is one of those pre-manufactured one that they've been throwing out there because they do get a little crazy. Elliott to win, Reddick top 3, KFB top 10, 140 to 1. I weirdly don't hate that, honestly. Reddick top 3 is probably the part of that I hate the least or like the least. But hey, good on you, Stan. Good on you, buddy. What do you say though, Rod? Should we start laying out the betting card here?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get into it in the parking garage props. All right, Rod, how did you feel like the sports books served us this week? I honestly thought that like it was fair in the outright market. I had no complaints over there, but as far as the props, as far as the matchups, like I didn't find a huge edge, honestly. So I have a pretty light Cup Series card. I have a couple bets I like, but overall, I didn't think there was a ton of value on the board, at least pre-practice and qualifying flop.
Yeah, there was not as much. In fact, they were even late in getting it to us. So there was a lot that they were not doing. And I mean, obviously we find stuff that we like, but by and large, I don't necessarily love the way that we got what we were given this time around. So yeah, it took some digging, but I still found some stuff I like. Just wish there would have been a better odds and just better offering and better value down the board.
Yeah, I'm there with you. And let's talk about the outright market. Denny Hamlin at the top of the board, 4-1. I mean, listen, I love Denny Hamlin and all my stats for Bristol and the high tire wear tracks. He really jumped off the page, but the recent form has been, and Joe Gibbs Racing in general has been really hard to back here lately. So kind of a tough price to pay. I've seen Kyle Larson around 6-1, Chris Bell 7-1, Ty Gibbs 8-1. Way too short for Ty Gibbs for me. And, then we get down the board. Like, you see guys like Ryan Blaney, 18-1, Chase, 18-1, Byron. You're like, okay, those are like reasonable numbers. Tyler Reddick kind of in that tier. Overall though, are there any outrights that you're currently down on, Rod?
I mean, other than Denny Hamlin, yeah, for sure. Christopher Bell, 6-1. I know a lot of people love Bell. I know he's had some good finishes here, but I still can't. 6-1 for him.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like Ty Gibbs at 7-1. This is insane. Yeah. There's no way he should be 7-1. I'm not betting him at 7-1. That's not even close to being right.
Yeah. Agree with you there, man. My outright that I did think was pretty reasonably priced, Kyle Larson, 6-1. I took a nibble there for about 0.8 of a unit, and also on a top 5 over at Bet Rivers, plus 105. For me, Kyle Larson, he's been top 5 in all 4 of his Bristol races since making the jump over to Hendrick Motorsports. This includes the spring race when he was 5th in the total speed rankings, courtesy by FantasyRace.com, and also fastest late in a run. So he knew how to save his tires. That's no surprise for a guy like Larson because we've seen him know how to save tires, whether it was at Dover earlier this season. He finished 2nd. That's our closest comp track. It was really him and Hamlin at the end battling for that one. And then also won at Kansas, another high tire wear track that we were at a couple months ago as well. So just 26 points above the cut line. I don't think Larson can afford a DNF. So if you don't want to get invested in the outright, I'm fine with it. But I think that top 5 is my favorite bet of the week as far as the Cup Series goes over at Bet Rivers because he's minus money for a lot of places. So our friends out in Pittsburgh, once again, doing us a solid here.
Yeah, Bet Rivers is actually a damn good book at that. I will say, though, that earlier this week, when the books opened, BetUS had Kyle at 7-1. And the fact that it is now 6-1 too means people have been they've been hammering that down a little bit. So I would say that if you do believe like I do, Seth, in Kyle Larson, I really do, and he's the outright that I gave out as well this week because at 7-1 as well for the guy that we talked about, just has won on this track already, has been as solid as he has on all of these non-conventional tracks this year, like. Kyle Larson's going to be around and he's going to be there at the end of this race. And he's talented enough, obviously, to win. And, that's just the way it is. And it's 7-1.
Oh, man, you got 7. You got 7 too, man. Yeah. You must have been early then.
That's what I'm saying. We got in like right when the books opened up for it, and BetUS had him at 7-1. So now he's at 6-1, but still, that's still good value in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Any other outrights that you're on currently?
Nope, that's it. I mean, honestly, I don't want Denny at plus 350. Brad Keselowski at 10-1 is kind of intriguing, but the win hasn't been there. I mean, I can get down with a top 5 for Brad Keselowski, but I can't get behind an outright win. I mean, a lot of people are going to want Buescher at 16-1. That's okay. Like, yeah, but I'm pretty much sold on Larson, and that's where I'm heading.
Well, with so much shaking and baking happening in this race, we're going to see a lot of movement. We're going to see guys going to the back, getting tires. So this is a really good live betting race. Have a couple drinks on Saturday night, call the boys or the ladies over, and have a time. I think this is a really good live betting race just because we do have so much different movement that's going to be happening in it. With that being said, I'm also down on Kyle Busch 20-1. And I'm going to be honest, I'm full degen for Rowdy this weekend. Not only did I invest about a 1/6 of a unit there, I went a half a unit on the top 5 plus 300 at Caesars, and then also plus money top 10 plus 105 over at Caesars, a unit and a half as well. So I like Kyle Busch, and why I like him is that 4 of the last 6 Cup Series winners on the schedule this season have been new winners. We've seen it. Austin Dillon, Harrison Burton, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher. The list just keeps going on and on. So why would this race maybe be any different? And based on recent performances, I think Rowdy is the next new winner that could potentially do it. He's finished P7 or better in his last 4 oval races. This includes 2 runner-up finishes. One of those runner-up finishes that stuck out to me was Darlington. That's a high tire wear track. This guy knows how to save his tire. And also, Austin Dillon tested here in the summer. So I think RCR has somewhat a bigger of a notebook than some of these other teams potentially as well. Results at Bristol lately for Rowdy, as you mentioned, crap. Absolutely like hot garbage. So that is the one blemish here. And I'm willing to overlook that specifically because I think here coming back to Bristol, like this is it, man. This is it. I don't think there's another good place, maybe Talladega, that you could pull off a win, but I think it all has to go in here. At our comp track of Dover earlier this season, Elliot and I were at that race, and Rowdy came out and won the poll, surprisingly. No one saw that coming. He had an average position in that race of 5.0, finished 4th. So he's been good at Darlington. He's been good at Dover, our comp track as well. And I just think he's got to push all the chips in here. And what better place to do it at a place he has 8 wins and also the most runner-ups in the series with 5 as well. So, yeah, give me a little Rowdy here.
You nailed it, though. This is it. Time's running out for him. If he wants to continue that impressive win streak, he's got to get it done. I mean, he's got to get it done ASAP. And like you said, this track probably offers one of the best opportunities for him to do it. I would think that he would come out and try. Now he's been trying all season long, not to much success, but yeah, again, it's now or never for Kyle Busch. And I think if he misses this shot, that this streak is over.
Yep, I agree with you there. TK saying regarding earlier, Ross mentioned he was, Ross mentioned he was preparing for Watkins Glen with SVG and that they found something. So Trackhouse teamwork seems to be boosting him a bit. That's really good to hear, man. Like kind of some bad vibes at Trackhouse. We just saw one of their higher ups leave this week in the organization as well and head over to Colleague Racing. So kind of some different stuff happening over there at Trackhouse, but honestly, like Ross 35-1, just because of the speed he's had lately is kind of intriguing, but it's just one of those things. His Bristol stats also kind of suck ass.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm on Ross Chastain, but you're right, though. And TK, thanks. Hey, man, thanks for joining the Backroad. Love you and the NASCAR Gambling Podcast in our Discord as well. Thanks for joining us here. But yeah, obviously that whatever notes they were sharing at Watkins Glen definitely helped at that spot. But Bristol notes may not really translate well there.
Yeah, absolutely. Charles saying he's down MTJ, Kyle Busch, JHN, and Josh Berry outrights. I get the JHN's too short for me. I looked at him early in the week because I noticed that he did finish, I think P6 here earlier in the spring. And I was like, man, like JHN could be a fun story to get behind. Odds are way too short for me. I'd rather like back Cindric for longer odds than him. And MTJ, he's another guy, like it's kind of put up or shut up for him. He needs a win here, must win situation pretty much for him. So I get the calls out there from our guy Chuck. Didi, what's up, Didi? Good to see you. We appreciate you as always leaving us a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Didi. We greatly appreciate. Hope you're having a great week out there in California as well. And she's saying, sorry, I've been MIA. Hey, man, life gets in the way. Don't worry about it. We appreciate every time any of the IBT family are hanging out with us. And Mike, a little Kyle Busch shade saying Kyle Busch sucks. Dude, listen, I get it. He's not the most popular driver. It's been a down season, but this is it, man. I don't think I've bet, honestly, Kyle Busch since Atlanta earlier this season. So I'm finally getting back in bed with him. Now's the time. JHN, top 10, plus 225. Too short for me, Charles. Too short. I just can't. For me to back Legacy, I need a 4-1. I need a 5-1. Like, that's the fucking bullshit equipment they've been running. It's terrible. Like, I just can't. I'm sorry, Charles. I love you, bro, but can't do it. Anything for you in the prop market for you as far as placements are concerned? I just have that Kyle Busch top 5, top 10, and the Kyle Larson top 5. Anything from you?
Actually, somebody said it in the chat earlier that Bowman top 5. I got it at 6.5 to 1, so I got a plus 650 over on BetUS. I'm looking to see right now if that's still the same for Alex Bowman, because at plus 650, that's now he's down to plus 500. That sucks. Where did somebody who had it? Somebody had
Charles
plus
yeah.
BetUS has it at plus 500 right now. So that Alex Bowman one is actually it's a sneaky good one, because Alex Bowman, we talk about his teammates, right? We talk about Byron, we talk about Larson being good here. But Bowman does have 2 top 5 finishes within the last 4 races here. He finished 5th in the fall of 2021 and 4th earlier in the spring. Granted, the tire wear in that race, I'm not taking it. But the reason that I'm kind of taking that one differently from the rest of everybody that I say, he started in 29th and finished in 4th. So that's not just surviving the tire wear. That's putting himself in a damn good position and driving the hell out of that car, regardless of the circumstances. He even led 3 laps in the race earlier in the spring. So, I mean, look, a 13th place finish in 2023. Bowman has what it takes to be able to manage his way up there. And now that, his future is in jeopardy, maybe there's a little more fire under him. But Bowman, if you can get it at 5 to 1, if you can get it at 6 to 1, wherever you can get it, I think a top 5 for him is definitely good. And then if you want to cover yourself with a top 10 as well.
I was just about to say our buddy Alex Timms over there from the Dirty Mo Doe show. I saw his bet of the week is also an Alex Bowman top 10. I know he does that frequently, but yeah, I don't hate the Bowman numbers this week. He's kind of being disrespected on the book. So good on you, Rod. Good on you, Chuck. And then Tim's over there as well. Anything else from you, Rod, from a placement prop perspective?
I'm good on that one. I mean, if you want to also cover yourself with a lot of Stuart Haas love in here. I will give you one head-to-head that I got. And that's Stuart Haas as a team over 23-11 over on Caesars. I won't bore you completely with the stats, but if you kind of dig in a little bit, Stuart Haas has actually finished better than Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace on this particular track. It's funny to think of, but guys like Ryan Preece and all of them finished together in the spot between like 8th place and 15th earlier in the year. And Tyler Reddick, for what it's worth, everybody thinks, Tyler Reddick's good everywhere. Tyler Reddick is good everywhere, but in 6 races, he's only got 1 top 10 finish, and that was a 4th place in 2020.
Wow.
Outside of that, 36th, 12th, 25th, 15th, 30th. I mean, those aren't like, oh, he almost missed it. No, those are pretty much he swung and he missed for real. And then when you look at Bubba Wallace, 10 starts on this track. He's only got 1 top 10 finish in that span. And it's just not good for 23-11. 29th in the spring, 14th before that, 29th before that, 16th, 22nd, 10th, 14th, going back to his days in the 43. All it takes is for 1 Stuart Haas driver. And if everybody thinks that Barry's going to be the second coming to finish better than 20th, I think that I'll take the 4 against 2 in that team. So give me Stuart Haas over 23-11 at plus 110.
Yeah, let's not forget Eric Almirola pulled this race last season as well. So SHR has had speed lately. Briscoe's still in the playoff mix. He needs a good run. Ryan Preece shows up at short tracks as well. So I don't hate that bet. What were the odds on that, Rod? Because I did see that on Caesars earlier today. I think it was a little bit juicy there.
Did it get down? I got it at plus 110. I'm gonna need to
Ooh.
double check.
Yeah, I think now I saw it maybe minus 125, maybe it's 135. It was getting juicy when I saw it, but like you said, like the 4-2 action off the bat, like I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
Holy hell. Oh my God. Look at Seth. If this doesn't tell you that you move lines, I don't know what will. Stuart Haas now minus 145 over 2311. This
Yeah.
opened at plus 110. Oh,
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I hope you guys got invested early. Would you still bet that minus 145, or is that just a little too juicy for you think?
no, because then Tyler Reddick is going to go and destroy you, and that's the one race that he ends up finishing good. Like that's the only problem with these full team head to heads is it's
Yeah.
4 against 2, but the 2 that it's against are damn good drivers, and they can pop up accidentally and jump one from you. And at minus 145, I know you only pay the juice if you lose, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is too juiced.
I want to move to the specials where I have one of my favorite bets of the week. I'm taking a page out of your playbook, Rod. I'm going winning car number under 11.5 at Caesars. I win 1.5 units on this. I don't have the odds in front of me, but I do believe it's plus 110, plus 115 is what I took it at. In this bet, not only are we getting some of the favorites, Denny Hamlin, 4 career wins here, back-to-back wins. We talked about Kyle Larson as well. We talked about Rowdy you're getting in this bet. You're getting Noah Gragson. Almirola, we mentioned, put this car on the pole last season. Noah also finished P6 at Dover earlier this season, our closest comp track. You're getting Chase Elliott, who might not be the best Bristol driver, but still has the best average career finish here among actives, 11.6, 3 straight top 10s here at Bristol as well. You're getting Brad Keselowski, a guy Rod was somewhat interested, flirting with on the outright market. 3rd in the spring here, 8th in this race last season. 2 wins here overall for him. You're also getting Josh Berry. Everyone loves Josh Berry this week. Started 2nd, led 25 laps in the spring. You're getting Austin Cindric, who kind of dog shit stats here at Bristol, but does have 2 straight top 10s coming in, a playoff driver. And you're getting Ross Chastain. Found speed late, as of late, average finish of 8.0 the last 5 races. So this is probably maybe my Larson top 5 is probably my favorite Cup Series bet, but this one's not far behind it here, Rod. Your thoughts here on the winning car number?
If I could show you the computer screen that I have my doc on, it would show you exactly that. Yes, I have that winning car number under 11.5 as well. Although, again, I got on this early. It was plus 105 at that point. Now it's at minus 125. I'm telling you right now the number is under 12.5. It's not even 11.5 anymore. It's under 12.5. They moved it up one because of Denny Hamlin. And I think Ryan Blaney too. They want to cover Ryan Blaney in that one. So yeah, winning car number. Oh, that's the championship. I'm sorry. That's the wrong. Look at Rod. What are you, a rookie?
I was about to say I just jumped on this maybe 3 hours before the show, and I think I still got plus money on it. So
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is at plus 105 still. So yes.
okay,
That's
okay.
it. And 11.5.
Charles saying he can get it under 13.5 at Bovada minus 125. I still don't hate that, honestly. Like, you are covering yourself with Blaney a little bit. They also were kind of teasing that bet on Caesars there as well. And I just don't think Ryan Blaney is going to be a factor. So I decided to go ahead and take a little bit better of an odds boost there. But don't hate it there, minus 125 either. Anything else from you for a Cup Series perspective before we jump over to the Xfinity Series race, Rod?
I'm just ready to get the Cup Series going. Like, I want to watch this race. I'm excited for it. So yeah, I'm ready to move on.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go to the Friday night race here. Make sure you guys are getting invested early here because we are going to have these odds flip probably pretty quickly. Who knows if they even reopen them after qualifying tomorrow. So I want to start with you, Rod. What do you like here from an Xfinity Series perspective, my friend?
I like that I need to, unmute my mic. No, listen, for me, again, it's hard to not want to just go all in on Dale Jr. Caesar still has, if you can find it, their odds boost at 10-1 for Dale to win this race.
Yep.
So, I mean, I love that. And for me, it's kind of like, that's where my outright lies. I mean, I know, there's other guys out there. Allgaier could probably end up winning this race.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it before. He could do it again. But yeah, I mean, it's Dale Jr. for me, and that's my only real outright lean this week.
Yeah. Shout out to our guy Elliot, not here on the program today. He's out at a music festival, but he was so sharp on it that he's been watching the books like a hawk. He got in at Dale 15-1 earlier this week at Caesars. So shout out to Elliot for getting down on him earlier. Last year, though, Dale was 3rd in speed by segment, 3rd in green flag speed before his car caught on fire. this is a guy too, like he has 24 career Xfinity Series wins. He's been racing short tracks lately too. So it's not like Clint Boyer, who came back earlier this season, just got done probably drinking a Busch 30 pack, the weekend before and then jumped in the car. I mean, I know Dale's still drinking like his little 3% beers or whatever he's drinking over there. But at the same time, like Dale is been in a car, maybe not a Xfinity car, but he's still been around the program. And it seems like every time that 88 car, whether it's Bubba Pollard, whether it's Carson Kvapil, these guys get in this car and it's fast as hell. We saw it last week with Connor Zilic. So even more, I think, reason to back Dale there just because this car has been damn fast too.
When you put a guy like Dale Earnhardt Jr. in his own equipment, in fast equipment, and the only reason that, like you said, the only reason that he didn't finish well the last time out is his pants were on fire. So there's no, how are you going to fault a guy for that? If he would have been able to keep this car from spontaneously combusting, who knows what kind of finish he would have been under. So I gotta love Dale, and the storyline, it writes itself, brother. And yeah, that Budweiser, that looks so slick, my friend. To me, this is a Dale Jr. storybook ending, and it'd be very difficult to not write the final chapter in that.
Agreed. The only other outright I have for this Xfinity Series race, I am going with Justin Allgaier, aka Gator. He's 3-1 at ESPN Bet. I got a unit and a half on that as well. And then top three, -125 ESPN Bet. The top three pretty much everywhere else for Gators down to -145, -150. I did go splurge a little bit. I did go 2.5 units on that one. What I like about Gator here, won last year, but was also number 1 in green flag speed, number 1 in speed by segment, and number 3 in late run speed. At Dover earlier this season, he was in a position to win. The rain came, kind of messed him up after he won stage 2. And also, this is a guy who just continues to be good at Bristol every time we go there. Average finish of 4.75 over the past 4 years. He has led 90 plus laps in the last 7 Bristol races. That's 901 combined laps in that span. So he's averaging about 135 laps led. Allgaier will be leading this race at some point. It's whether a piano out of the sky does not fall on him. So I'm going to take the chance that he's worked out the kinks a little bit here as we move later in the season. I'm going Gator here, baby.
I can never argue with a Justin Allgaier bet. Like my love for that 7 car grew and grew and grew over the last few seasons that I've been paying attention to the Xfinity Series. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. Like I said, it's the only other guy that I feel comfortable saying that's going to win this race. Because if you look back at some of these Bristol races before in Xfinity, I mean, there's guys like John Hunter that were in this. There were guys like Noah Gragson that were in this, and they're not here anymore. So you're not really having to contend with those guys. If all you're contending with is your boss, then I guess you can take your 7 car as well. So I like that.
Yeah. Chuck shouting us out here. Said, would love some IBT swag to wear this weekend at Bristol, but happy to spread the word to people I tailgate with. Yeah, it's on me, Charles. I was trying to get out a package to you earlier this week, and it did not happen, but hoping to get it over to you this weekend. So hopefully when you return home from Bristol, it'll be waiting for you. But appreciate you spreading the word. And no, we do not have hoodies yet. We do not have hoodies. That is maybe something on the agenda for next year. We've talked about maybe even some quarter zips or something because it gets chilly out there at the racetrack. So we want to make sure you guys are staying warm. So we'll make sure we get those in production for you guys. Anything else from you from an Xfinity Series perspective here, Rod? I have one more bet, but I'd love to open the floor to you as well.
Yeah, the only other one I have is actually a sneaky one, and that's Cole Custer as a top 3 car. It's Cole Custer top 3. I got him at +120. The top 3 odds are not necessarily all that great for a lot of these drivers. So to get Cole Custer at +120 is actually a pretty good deal. Sneaky good, to be honest with you. Over the last few races, a 4th place finish in 2018 here, a 3rd place finish in 2019. He finished 4th, but what's impressive though is he's got 3 poles in that span. So he's been able to put his car at the front. Again, I'm not saying he's going to win this race, but at least a top 3 in there is doable for him. Plus, he's led laps in 4 of the last 5 races that he's been on. At least 1 lap. He led 109 in 2023, 25 in 2019 rather, and then 5 and then 1. So Cole Custer, pretty damn good at this track overall. And then if you kind of look at what he's done so far, he's like the king of being just there, right? He's just one of those guys. He's just going to be, he was 2nd in Vegas. I know it's a mile and a half, but he was 8th at Martinsville, 5th at Dover. You want to talk about kind of that comp track, 3rd at Darlington. He ended up being 6th at Iowa. So just on the second at Indy. He won Pocono, second at Darlington. Cole Custer is going to be there whether you like it or not, so you might as well make money when he gets there.
I love that you brought up Cole Custer, Rod, because we're doing it, baby. We're getting back in bed. Let's go. It's Cole Custer weekend in addition to Dale Jr. and JRM weekend. Started first here last year in this race, won stage 2, second in stage 2, led 109 laps, second in green flag speed in that race, speed by segment and speed late in a run. Also had a top 10 run here in the Cup Series in 2022 as well. So you probably look back at the stats like, where was Cole Custer in 2022? Yeah, he was in the Cup Series, and he was also a top 10 car that day as well. Where I like him specifically here, I've seen this matchup at 4 or 5 different books, and nobody knows what the fuck they're doing pricing this. Cole Custer, minus 110 at ESPN Bet over Chandler Smith. I've seen it the other way around, where Custer has been the favorite. Here they have it the opposite way. They have Chandler the heavy favorite here. I think those odds are wrong. Chandler Smith in that race last season started 4th, finished 5th. So did have a good run himself. He is in a little bit better of equipment, but just hasn't been on lately. 15th speed late in a run in that race. He's not a guy when I think of tire saving. I don't think of Chandler Smith. I don't think he's there in his racing style yet. I don't think he has that in his bag quite yet. This season, looking at some of the comp tracks that we can kind of pull, Allgaier was 5th at Dover, Custer was 5th at Dover, and then Chandler was 7th at Darlington, as you alluded to. Custer 2nd, Chandler Smith 8th. So whether it's at Bristol or whether it's at these high tire wear tracks, Custer seems like he should not be the underdog against Chandler Smith. So I went 2 units on it.
Hey, I love it. Again, Cole Custer you never feel good about backing Cole Custer, but you're more profitable if you do, because he's been finishing well in places that he's supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw some crazy stat. I think he has like out of the 20 some races, he has I think has 2 races in the Xfinity series this season that he has not finished top 10. And one of those, we know he got punted by Austin Hill as well. So yeah, good on you, Cole Custer. Good on you, Rod. What do you say though, man? Should we go ahead and round out the program here with a little bit of DFS tier action?
Let's do it.
All right, let's load up the tire tiers. All right, we're back with the tire tiers. Rod, we're looking at DraftKings pricing as always here. Who do you think belongs in this A tier? Because, man, it's a tough board, honestly. You got Denny Hamlin up at 11,000. You got Kyle Larson 10.5, Seabell 10.3, Byron 10,000. Like, honestly, I don't want to pay for a lot of these guys, honestly.
I feel so gross. I felt so gross too earlier, just looking at all of these, because the top guys on this one, again, like we said, young Dennis Hamlin, it does not move me to want to pay that much for Denny Hamlin. And then Kyle Larson, I think he's going to win. I think he's going to lead a lot of laps. So that would be the first guy that I would say we could throw up there. That wouldn't make me throw up, but like, I can't see Christopher Bell. Byron, maybe, but at $10,000, it makes me scared,
I agree. I would almost opt and say like that both RFK guys, I would rather play 9.8 for Chris Buescher, 9.5 for Brad Keselowski. We know Buescher won here in this night race just a few years back as well. And when he heats up, he usually gets hot and stays hot. So any love for RFK here?
Put them both up there, because Brad Keselowski is actually the first guy that I really, really, really love as far as DFS is concerned. He's not going to lead you a ton of laps, which is kind of why you got to have Larson up there, because I think Larson could be the lap leader. But Brad Keselowski, in his last several starts here, he won in the spring of 2020, finished 34th, unfortunately, but was up in the pole and actually doing well, leading 82 laps in that race. But since then, a 6th place finish in 2021, a 13th place finish in 2022, 8th and 3rd in his last 2 races here. He led 109 laps in 2022. So, I mean, he can get you some laps led, but I think what you're looking at more is, especially like the last time he was out here in the spring, started 17th and finished 3rd. That's a hell of a DFS day. So he's got the potential to have good DFS days. Is
there anyone else that you can even consider for the A tier right now? Because honestly, like I'm kind of opting, like I would leverage that maybe we should throw Kyle Busch up there at 8,800, but his Bristol stats, as I alluded to earlier, haven't been the best. But I do like how he's been running lately. But aside from that, like Martin Truex at 8,400, you're actually getting a huge discount on MTJ for once, which feels good. But guys only averaging about 30 DraftKings points per race, as is Kyle Busch. So do you think MTJ, Kyle Busch belong up here? Do you think they're more B tier for you?
I'm either going to be way right or way wrong on Truex this weekend because again, retired drivers, they don't drive very well. And that's what he's been doing. Yeah, he looked good in spurts and looked good too last week at Watkins Glen when he was looking good, but that's Watkins Glen. Like that's not this. This is Bristol. They've been having trouble anyway. So I can't get behind MTJ. I can't even get behind Blaney or Logano or Elliott. So yeah, Busch probably, B tier for me at best and still reluctant.
What about Chase Elliott? I think Chase Elliott's an interesting name, maybe to kick off the Bs potentially if you don't like Kyle Busch. 9,000 for Chase. As we mentioned, he has a couple straight top 10s coming in here. The best average finish position among active drivers. Finished 8th last year or earlier this year, 7th in this race last year, and 2nd 2 years ago in this Bass Pro Night Shop race as well. So any interest in Chase Elliott or Byron or Bowman? Do you think they're all kind of Bs here?
So I would actually put Chase in there. I know Cody's pretty high on Chase, so put him at the top of that. Put Bowman right behind him as well. Since we're considering a good day for Bowman out of that. But Byron, he perplexes me. Like he's got 2 starts on this configuration, right? In Bristol. Oh, that's Xfinity series. No, I'm sorry. But anyways, William Byron kind of perplexes me in that he started off the season so damn good and then kind of slid behind in that one as well. And, he's got 10 career starts. He's got 4 top 10s, 2 top 5s. His last finishes have been kind of bookended by bad finishes, 35th in the spring, but 9th before that, 3rd before that, 3rd before that. So maybe put him in there behind Bowman as well.
Yeah. I think that's a good place for him. 10's a lot to pay for a guy like that, but I understand why somebody would. Oh man, it's already getting tough. I don't know where we want to put him. I think Josh Berry belongs somewhere. Whether that's maybe even cracking off the D's 8,200. I think for Berry, a guy who can lead laps here. I think at the end of the day, regardless of where he starts, I think he'll make his way up towards the front.
Yeah, I guess if we start him in the C's, then we can essentially make that move. Because Josh Berry finished 12th here in the spring. That's good. Started in the second, led 25 laps. If he has a day like that for you, then you're happy, right? Especially even in the C's. But this SHR guys, they're good when they're good, and then they're really bad when they're bad.
Mm-hmm. Chase Briscoe, I think he deserves probably a little bit of a look. Like it hasn't been great at Bristol for him. Finishes of 13th, 27th, 14th, and 13th as of lately. He's gone backwards a lot for DFS too in this race. However, he's a guy, he's kind of on the cut line. I think he is going to try to point himself to a good rate, a good day here. So any love for Briscoe or Gragson? Maybe Gragson might be even more of the optimal play, just because I think less people will play him. And as I mentioned, he did finish 6th at Dover, had a really great run at our closest comp track.
Yeah, I would probably put Briscoe over him just because of the playoff angle. And really, he's got 2 13th place finishes, a 14th place finish here over the course of his career, 1 27th place finish last year in 2023. So, he's at least been in the top 15, which, is encouraging from that standpoint. And now you add the playoffs into it, could turn into a better day.
What about Denny Hamlin? I think he probably at least should probably be above Truex, and just out of respect, just for what he's done, back-to-back winner here. It's been a rough go of it, but I think he knows too, like, hey, he's got to go out and not only potentially win this race, but he's got to get some points. He's got to get you stage points. So if you're playing in fan tracks, one of these other formats that maybe count stage points, maybe he's a guy, but 11,000's a lot. I still think he belongs in the B tier. What say you?
Go ahead. It's Denny Hamlin. He'd probably get mad at us if we didn't. So
Byron back too. I don't trust Byron.
Yeah. I don't trust Denny either. So,
who else? Who are your sneaky plays this week? I think one of mine potentially could be that number 41 car of Ryan Preece. Actually, has had some really good runs here, consistent. Like he's not going to ever blow you out of the page, but he's had 8 starts here, and he's finished top 20 in 7 of them. I don't think he's going to kill you specifically over on DraftKings, where you're paying a pretty fair price, I think, for a guy Ryan Preece, usually towards the bottom of the list, a little higher this week at 6,400, but that's still one of my favorite guys deep down in the pack here.
I feel it's funny that we've got all 4 SHR cars pretty much in the same group. So yeah, go ahead and throw them up there. I don't hate him for DFS. I really don't. Betting up, it's difficult to find an angle on him for betting.
Right.
But DFS, you can have multiple lineups and still cash one and have a very good day. So if he does well in one of your lineups, in your GPP lineups, then you're set. So speaking of another guy, let's go ahead and put Michael McDowell up there in 3 finishes of his last 3 finishes: 11th place, 6th place, and 11th place. In 2022, he started 18th, finished 11th.
Wow.
Pretty decent DFS day, right? I mean, that's not going to kill you. And then in 2023 in the fall, he started 4th and finished 6th. And then in the spring of this year, started 7th, finished 11th. So been quietly good at Bristol. So I think I like his potential for a good DFS day.
I would opt somewhere, whether it's low B, high C. I think Chris Bell has to go somewhere too. I know it's more of an expensive price than we want to pay, but has finished top 10 in all the next gen races here at Bristol, the last great Coliseum, of course, and also has 3 stage wins in that time as well out of the 6 stages. So he's 50% winning these stages. Talk about a guy who can maybe go out there and get you some dominator points. Maybe it's Chris Bell. Where do you opt that we put him and Ty Gibbs, who Ty Gibbs, I think, is going to be one of those chalky plays because we saw him go out there, lead a lot of laps, get you some dominator points earlier in the spring. I don't know if I can trust him as much here. It's been a little hit or miss for Gibbs, but I think both these Jay Gibbs Racing guys belong somewhere towards the top of the board. I'm just not sure where.
Well, you read off some pretty good stats for Bell, so go ahead and put him up in the, I would say, right around, before Denny for sure. Maybe even before Kyle. Let's put him before Kyle.
Okay.
There's a little more potential for him to get it done than Kyle. You put Gibbs where you want, because I that sophomore slump for me is real. I'm not backing Gibbs in any way, shape, or form this race, because I get the hype and I understand he's gonna be a fantastic driver, but boy, I gotta tell you, it is so hard to watch that sophomore slump right before your eyes right now, because the finishes are just not there consistently for Ty Gibbs right now. And for as good as he's running and for as great as he ran in the spring, you're not seeing it now. He fell off a cliff somewhere. So go ahead and put Ty Gibbs where you want, because I don't know where to put him.
I'll put him at the end of C, like 8,400. It's just a lot for me for Gibbs when I'd rather play, or 8,700. Excuse me. When I'd rather play a guy like Truex at 84, even when I'd rather play a guy like Bowman at 76. Like you're just paying up for him this week, and I just don't. And he's another guy who, if Ty Gibbs runs well, he's going to qualify well. He's going to give you no freaking differential point movement at all. He never does. He usually qualifies where he runs. So not a lot of upside, I think, for Ty Gibbs. I would opt for both of the at least Ross here. I think it maybe to crack off D, if not get into C, just based on recent speed alone. And like, shout out Daniel Suarez too, dude. Daniel Suarez has been steadily improving the back half of this year. And from a DFS perspective, he's been really good lately as well. 26 points last week. Okay, you can deal with that for what you paid at 7,900. Back at Atlanta, I mean, I know it's probably the chalkiest play ever there. $7,500 though, got you 75 DraftKings points, 39 the week before. Has had a couple negative runs, but I mean, he's been super solid, man. Before that negative performance in the Coke Zero Sugar, 42 points at the Firekeepers Casino 400, Cookout 487 points. I like Danny Suarez. I like Chastain. Can I make the move for the C's, or is that too rich?
Yeah, you can put him in the C's. I mean, I do. I think they both have the potential to be good for you. But yeah, I guess you want to put him at the tail end of the C's. I think and that's probably the right order too, the 99 and the 1. So I like that as well. I would say put Eric Jones in the D's. Eric Jones has a C- potential, but I think it belongs in the D's. Last few finishes here, he finished 20th in the spring after starting 15th, so not the greatest day. But in 2023, started 31st, finished 24th. In 2022, started 24th, finished 21st. In 2021, started 22nd, finished 8th. And then in 2020, started 20th and finished 3rd. Now, this is his JGR 20 days, right? 15th place start, 5th place finish in the spring of 2020. So Eric Jones and legacy has not been the greatest of stories the last couple of seasons, but like I talked about earlier, just guys knowing how to get around this particular track. Eric
Yep.
Jones finishes races on this track. He's never DNF'd in this one at all, which is a lot to say for drivers that run around the back, right?
Yeah, and I think throw JHN in there too. And again, it's only going off, I think, that sixth place finish in the fall. It's been pretty mediocre the rest of his rookie season. I guess this is his rookie. What is second full-time series or season in the Cup, or third? I can't remember at this point. But
I think it's his second, yeah.
okay, I mean, but hey, he had a good run here earlier this season. Maybe he can duplicate it. And I would say in some order, I'll let you pick the order. The Penske guys have to go here. To me, I'm not excited about Penske this week, Rod, primarily because they're all in a really good place. Joey Logano locked in the next round, and Cindric has put himself up in the conversation where he's probably going to advance without a catastrophic day as well. So not a lot of upside from Penske's, but I don't think they're going to burn you either. And Cindric's probably one of my favorite, just been super consistent from a DFS perspective as of late, and you're getting him this week for 7,200.
It's tough because when you look at Logano, right, his average start 8.5, his average finish 16.3
Wow.
on this track. Yeah, I mean it's nothing to write home about. Like it's very difficult to trust these guys at all, because we talk about Ryan Blaney, average start of 8.4, average finish of 19.6
Wow.
on this particular track, right? 19.5, I'm sorry. It's not that good. You talked about Austin Cindric, average start of 19.7, average finish of 27.7
Wow.
on this track. It's not sexy for these guys.
Mhm.
Like I get it. Like they could pop up and have a good finish here and there, but like by and large, their track record on here is terrible.
Yeah, let's throw them all in the F. Let's throw them all in the F then. I think that's probably where they belong, honestly. Um, a couple sleeper guys that I like that we could maybe make the argument for. AJ Allmendinger's been super consistent in the Cup Series every time he gets a good freaking car. Oh, geez. Talk about a bad start to the day. I had a top 10 on Dinger last week, and of course, can't even get off the freaking start line without blowing up. But if the quality equipment can stay together, this guy has been money in the Xfinity Series here. Even has a win here, I believe, in the second tier series as well. So I like Dinger, 7,000 flat. I like him. I like Justin Haley. We talked about Haley earlier. He was a top 10 car earlier this season, and he's going to qualify fucking damn close to dead last and make his way up. So I like Haley. I like Dinger. Any difference from you in stopping me from putting them in the D's?
I do not stop you from that at all. Go forth and D them, because yeah, I think that's probably where they belong. You know, it's sad. We've gotten this far into it and we have not talked about the 2311 guys. I tell you, I read off their stats earlier, just not good on this track.
Yeah.
They lose you points more than they gain you at Bristol. So
yeah, I'm with you there. F's, D's. What are you thinking?
I guess F if you really need some GPP darts to, but
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick, though, his price already makes you go, no, $8,500 for how he's performed on this track. And then Bubba Wallace comes in at $7,500, still too much to pay for a 25th place finish.
Yep, agreed with you there. Just based off recent runs, Hocevar I think needs ranked here. I mean, shout out to the kid, man. He's been brilliant. I don't know if you saw that clip on Twitter going around when he passed Austin Dillon, but he passed him, goes FUB. I love the kid. I think he's learning a lot. Same with Zane Smith. We were high on Zane Smith last week. We backed him over Hocevar in a bet, so that didn't come to fruition. But Zane Smith, I like what he's doing as well. Didn't have a great day at Bristol, but blew the engine early in that one, so we don't really know what we would have saw. I think they deserve to be on the board. Anyone else that you think, Rod, deserves to be on the board, whether that's Austin Dillon, who, hey, he had a good run at Richmond, another short track here as of late, and Corey LaJoy coming off a top 10 win or top 10 day for him as well.
Oh my God, that's Corey LaJoy back to, I don't know how the hell he ended into a top 10 at Watkins Glen, but it's not going to replicate itself at Bristol. No, I'm not liking anybody else. I mean, you can touch on them as Elliott does, but yeah. I can't put them on the board for in good conscience.
Yeah.
Well, Ricky Stenhouse,
yes,
maybe in the Fs. That's would be, yeah.
Yep. I agree with you. I think Stenhouse was the one guy. He has had a little bit of a Bristol pedigree here. I'd have to look up what Todd Gillen's finishes are here, but as well. But I feel kind of shitty for leaving him off the board. We're big Todd G guys here.
I'll tell you. Give me a second. I got Todd Gillen right here. Three races on this track in the Cup Series. Finishes of 18th, 16th, and 26th. However, I will say that 2 of those were 30-place starts. So he started 30th, finished 18th in one. Started 30th, finished 16th in another. In the spring, started 24th, finished 26th.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do a little reshuffling here. I'm going to move some of these 23-11 guys back. And I do think Todd belongs somewhere on this board as well. So we'll throw him in there. Yeah, I'll move Cindric back. That might be a little high for Cindric as well. But yeah, man, I Harrison Burton, congrats on making the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. We hope you enjoyed it, man. We'll see you maybe in the Xfinity Series next year. Daniel Hemrick, same to you. Hope you enjoyed your full-time Cup Series ride this season. And the 66, who's ripping the 66? Oh, Josh Bilicki. Shout out Bilicki. Yes. Man, I love Josh Bilicki. We need to get him back in a JGR Xfinity car so we can bet him on a couple of road courses, I think, soon. But yeah, I think that's going to about do it for us today. Stan saying way past the betting segment, but my favorite matchup, Elliott plus 100 versus Blaney on MGM. I don't hate that. At all. I think it's a good shout out, Stan. As always, man, we appreciate it. Rod, tell us, man, what all do you have coming down the pipeline, not just over at the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, but also just in general? I know football season is a brewing here across the nation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to the NASCAR Gambling Podcast as well. Cody and I, 5 days a week, hitting it hard. Tomorrow's DFS and all that. You can get caught up on Cup and all that stuff. Yeah. Check out my work on Sportsbook Review as well. I've got NFL props. I've been doing first touchdown for them. I've been doing props for single games, throwing out a bunch of stuff there. And then excited to rep the Stockton Crusaders, baby. Arena Football 1, brand new team in my own hometown. Can't wait to check them out. So go follow them on social media so you can get all hyped up like me about arena football next year as well. So, yeah, I mean, a lot going on. It's never boring in this office.
No, absolutely. For us at IBT too, just guys, we're working on some big stuff for you right now. I can't reveal everything, but some really fun stuff we're putting together over here. So make sure you guys are following along. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. It's the easiest way to support us here. And if you enjoyed this content, give this video a thumbs up as well. And if you didn't, let us know in the comments. Tell us we fucking suck. I don't care. I'll read it. I promise you that. I don't think Rod will, but I will read it. I promise you that. But I know everyone who hangs around here this late into the show, they are some of our most loyal listeners. So I want to thank you guys so much for being that. Everyone who's going down to Bristol this week, and I know Chuck and his wife will be out there. Enjoy it, guys. Be safe. And just in general, be safe this weekend, but have fun. It's a great fall weekend. We got college football. We got NFL. We got NASCAR. And you can check out all that type of content right here on the channel as well. Until next time, y'all, you know what to do. Keep it in between. Thank you.